Hello, Westside. This is Tom Watterson, your Western District Secretary Treasurer for Kappa Kappa Psi, and I am here with the final installment of the Month of Musicianship video series that your District Council has been working on. If you have not checked out their videos, I'm including them in the description below. A common theme with this series has been where we started out as musicians and where we are now, and I'm going to keep with that. I started in 5th grade, and I started on trumpet, which there was no particular reason why I picked it up. It's just what I started on. And going through, I really fell in love with it from the beginning. I worked really hard at it. I progressed faster than my class because of all the work I put in, and I really, really enjoyed it. And then going into middle school, I had that same passion and actually was able to audition up into our jazz band, which was our top ensemble for my middle school. With that, I was the lead trumpet. I took the solos. I had the first parts, and it really challenged me, especially with this new style that we hadn't learned about. And then, from there, I kept that passion through high school, where I joined the marching band. I didn't join jazz at first. I joined the marching band on trumpet, and then decided to challenge myself the next year by switching to mellophone, which then led me to switching to French horn, which is now my primary instrument. When I was doing mellophone, I had guidance from my friend Corey, who was drum major at the time, and he convinced me to switch. And when I had talked to him, he gave me the first lesson or two that I needed to learn the instrument. And then from there, I picked it up myself, and I taught myself until I got to college. With that, I auditioned into the regional honor band for 2 years. I did both of them on horn, although I qualified for other instruments. And I had two wonderful clinicians when I did that. The first one was Dr. Daniel Schmidt, who is the director of band at NAU and the reason why I'm here at NAU. And then the second one was Dr. Bayless from the U of A. While I was in high school, I had picked up the horn, but I also picked up other instruments and really liked challenging myself, which is why I did it. My sophomore year, I had signed up for the pit orchestra on percussion, which was a lot of fun and definitely one of the biggest challenges I've ever undertaken. I had never played percussion before, and there were no brass parts, so I wanted to do it, so I signed up for something, and I kind of learned as I went, which actually went a lot better than I thought it would. I did mallet percussion while our band director did battery percussion, and it was a blast. And I kept with the musical every semester that we did one. I did 5 shows in my high school, and I played instruments, trumpet, flugelhorn, horn, and percussion while I was there. Another challenge that I undertook is my senior year. I asked our orchestra director if I could join because I was playing auxiliary parts. However, I wasn't getting enough rehearsal time for the concerts. And I asked to join, and she said, that's okay. Do you have a string instrument you can play in the meantime? And I kind of looked at her and was like, let's play cello. And I picked up the cello. I learned it over the summer. And within the first week of classes, I performed a concert, which didn't go so well, needless to say. But I kept at it. I practiced cello more than I practiced horn that year. I had really fallen in love with the instrument, and I know that if I had done it another year, so for 2 years, I probably would be here at NAU as a cello major, which would have had its own complications as well as horn. Another thing I did in high school is I did our jazz band for a semester. With that, I was switching around my schedule, and I had an open period for the second semester, and I went to my band director and was like, hey, I want to do jazz. Do you have any trumpet spots open? He said, no, but I have a trombone spot, and it's yours. And basically handed me a trombone and said, go, which was a common thing in high school for me. And so I did that. The biggest challenge with that was learning to read bass clef. I hadn't read bass clef before, and so I learned all of my music by the positions rather than the notes, which isn't the right way to do it. But I got through it. I went through and did 2 fantastic concerts. I did a festival where our jazz band did really well. And so the moral of all of this is I had a lot of passion for music in high school, and I brought it with me to college. I got into NAU as an undeclared major with the intention of going into music. My first semester, I had emailed our horn professor about renting an instrument because I didn't own my own horn. And she said, yeah, we can get you set up with something. Do you want lessons right now? And offered me lessons that semester, and I took them and realized I learned my instrument wrong, which is a common theme in your first lesson of college. So I went through the semester doing that. I figured out how I'm actually supposed to play my instrument, and she actually accepted me into the School of Music without auditioning, and I was a music major the very next semester. Being a music major has given me countless opportunities in the School of Music. Mostly, my favorite part of it are the concerts we play. While I was here at NAU, I have been in the marching band for more years than I'd like to say. I did 2 seasons as drum major, and I'm going into my 3rd season. I have been in the symphonic band where I've sat principal horn for some fantastic concerts, including one that involved electronics and whale sounds, which sounds weird, but it was a really amazing piece, and it's my favorite concert with symphonic band. I have been in our wind symphony, which has some of my favorite pieces ever. Most recently, we did Wine Dark Sea by John Mackey for the president of the university, who threw a reception for us. And we killed it on stage. It has this very big horn opening, and the horn section, we were playing it, and then when we had our 2 or 3 measures of rest, we all just looked at each other, and we just knew that it was perfect. And I think that moment is probably the highlight of my semester, honestly. Anyway, so we've done pieces like that. We have played a wide variety of concerts. We've done an entire concert dedicated to Bob Thurston, who is the Air Force arranger and composer. We also recorded for him for 6 hours, which was an unforgettable experience. We've performed Michael Markowski, who is probably one of my favorite modern composers. We play a lot of Granger, who is another one of my favorite composers. There's so many wonderful opportunities. In addition, I have been part of the NAU Symphony Orchestra, where we've done Pines of Rome by Respighi, which is my favorite performance with them, and countless others. I've done the finale to the Firebird Suite, which was my very first semester in the ensemble, and it was quite a challenge, and I loved it. And kind of leads me to where I am now. I just got off from a 2 weeks of straight concerts, where we had our finale concert for marching band, which we did with our symphonic band, which I am a part of. We just did the biggest concert for Wind Symphony, which is this one here. Orchestra just had their performances. I've had like 3 or 4 pep band games for our basketball teams. And honestly, I couldn't be happier. Music has been a passion for my life, and it's made me who I am today. And it's how I've met so many wonderful people from across this country through Kappa Kappa Psi, through the NAU bands, just through music. Music is what brings us together, and it is what I live for. Well, thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions, you can feel free to add me on Facebook, or you can email me, which I'm going to include my email address below. And also, if you just want to share your own story, we would love to see how music has affected you. And feel free to write to The Accent, shameless plug. And with that, I will see you all at DLC, and I can't wait to see you there. Thanks.